guys. I'm here playing yet another entry in the very crowded zombie genre. This is called Trapped Dead, and it's now available on Steam for $5. Now, when it comes to zombie games, you've pretty much got two types, or at least a spectrum, with two distinct ends. One of them is the Left 4 Dead style, where they send like hundreds of thousands of zombies at you, and you just gotta, blow their brains out one by one, but one zombie is not a huge problem, or two zombies is not a huge problem. Hell, a dozen zombies is not a huge problem. And then you go more to the other side, more of the tactical side as opposed to the action side. You get games like Project Zomboid, where one zombie can actually ruin your shit. Trapped Dead is much more on that Project Zomboid side. In fact, it plays pretty much identically to Project Zomboid, except it's got a more mission-oriented gameplay style as opposed to, I guess you could call a sandbox or an open-ended type of thing. But let's load up the game that I've been playing so far. You can see I'm very, very early on in this. This is not really a review, more of just my first impressions, live and on location as I play the game through myself. So there's a lot of positive things to say about this game, but overall I am not a huge fan of it. Positives mainly, the story seems really good, the art style is alright, and there's these like hand-drawn interludes that come up now and then that are really well illustrated. But the game suffers from some serious pacing problems.
Even more of these freaks. I'll try to sneak around them and find my way into the hospital.
And some shoddy voice acting. But mostly it's the fact that the game feels slow as hell because your character walks like he's moving through molasses, and I'll get to the running later because he runs a little bit faster but not much. And the fact that the controls are really janky, kind of messed up. For this, because it looks like a game like, say, Alien Swarm, you would expect WASD to move you, and then your mouse to aim your weapon and attack. But instead, WASD moves the camera, which is kind of a baffling control decision for me. Then you use your mouse to move around, and then right-click on your mouse to attack. I guess this wouldn't be so bad in and of itself, except sometimes right-click doesn't seem to want to attack. Like if you get really close to an enemy, you might have to do it 3 or 4 times before anything comes of it. Really kind of strange control system going on in this game. Also, take a look at my inventory screen down here. In order to reload the gun, I've got to take the bullets and drag them on top of the gun. I mean, it's something that's, I guess, kind of new, but it's not really the ingenuity that I want in a game. Really, the reason I feel this game kind of suffers is it's just so goddamn slow, and slow is normally okay. Like, take a game like Project Zomboid, that is a slow game, absolutely. This one definitely feels more suited to some kind of like high-octane action, but it never really gets there, it seems. Kind of trudges along. Anyway, again, I am only about 10 minutes in, but the fact that I've suffered from the controls so much already kind of worries me and makes me think that things necessarily are not going to get worse before they get better. Like, here's an example of me having a little trouble with the controls, trying to beat this person down with a baseball bat. Actually, that time it worked relatively okay. So let's move on a little bit here. A few more zombies. Basically, the story right now is my buddy. I've forgotten his name. He might actually be my brother. I think he's Gerald, because this is what I mean with the attacking. God damn it. My guy won't turn around. Instead, it just gives me these footprints when all I want to do is attack him with a baseball bat. This could easily be allayed by not having this very strange left-click to walk, right-click to attack system. And you see, I'm almost dead already. Let me take out my gun. And of course, my running speed, the zombie is almost catching me. Let's murder these 2 zombies, but like the same before. Yeah, if I could just use WASD to move, and then the mouse to shoot, I feel like all of these problems would be solved. This is like easily solved control problems in this game. Kind of a baffling design decision. I can't believe it didn't come up during development. Sometimes you just want to attack something. Oh, there's a save point. Excellent. I can move on a little bit. Sometimes you just want to attack something, but it won't let you. You'll just be standing there, and it'll have these footprints up on there, because you're using the mouse for 2 things when you really only should be using it for one. Let's go down here, actually. I want to try to use a first aid kit, but again, this has been something that's been a substantial problem for me. So if I select this first aid kit, and then put it on myself, I get this health icon, but I can't seem to heal myself, or I only heal myself a very little. I'm not really sure what's up with that. Or maybe like I'm unhealable now? I'm not sure. Maybe those first aid kits aren't meant to be health packs, they're just meant to stop bleeding or something, but I feel like they've done a pretty poor job explaining that. As I mentioned, I am early in the game. Later on in the game, from what I've read, apparently it becomes more of a squad-based kind of tactics game where you send orders to people. So kind of like, what a good example of that? Maybe like almost like a real-time strategy game, or maybe like Frozen Synapse. But based on the fact that it's kind of hard to issue orders just to your own guy that you're in control of all the time, I'm kind of skeptical that this is going to work very well. But also, there is some online multiplayer. Unfortunately, I'm not able to play it right now because there's basically no one online for this game. So this is part of the problem that I mentioned before, is the fact that the pacing is so slow. And again, this is not a problem in Project Zomboid because the game maintains a certain kind of tension, but here it just kind of feels slow. Let's move the camera using the WASD keys here. Again, a decision I just can't wrap my head around. I know I'm saying it a lot, but it does boggle my mind. Oh, I'm about to die, probably. Oh, man, instead of beat him to death with a baseball bat. Yeah, so like, I'm not really sure. Once you get online, maybe things are a little bit better. Something that baffles my mind is that you can't host a game until you finished 2 of the game's story missions. So, you know, I'm assuming that the multiplayer was meant to be the strong suit, and, well, I hope it wasn't meant to be the single player. But, why restrict people from playing what you are basically deeming to be the marquee point? And here's the camera. You get into all sorts of problems with it. I think I have to open this door. I gotta rotate the camera. Again, controls really something that's holding this game back. Alien Swarm in particular is a game that I'd like to draw comparisons to, because the game looks extremely similar, and although there's less enemies on screen, it's pretty much the same deal happening here as in Alien Swarm. And that game just uses the mouse to shoot, and it works perfectly fine. That game is also for free. It looks a lot better than this, and it plays a whole hell of a lot better than this too. So basically, at this point, I would probably say stay away from this game. I think it badly needs some tweaking. I don't know if it needs patching, but it certainly needs some tweaking, because I'm not going to go as far as to say it's unplayable in its current state, but certainly, oh, I just got killed by a roof, apparently. Not unplayable, but hard to play. It's not a lot of fun, and it doesn't always respond to kind of what I feel I'm telling it to do. And lest you think I'm just being a big baby, I've looked into some of the critical reception around this game, because it did come out about 2 weeks ago, and pretty much every reviewer, both professional and just regular end users, saying basically the same thing, that the game is really slow, it's very difficult to control, and the pacing is totally off. But again, some positives. It's clear a lot of work went into this game. The music is fine when it pops up, which is kind of rarely. Art is pretty good. Story is interesting. It's kind of a throwback to those George A. Romero zombie type movies. But the game itself, and, you know, away from everything that wraps the game, the core of the game itself is just quite mediocre. I would suggest if you're looking for a game with a combat style like this, you should go with Alien Swarm, which is free on Steam, or if you're looking for a kind of a slow-paced, tension-building, tactical zombie game, check out the tech demo for Project Zomboid, because that is, at this point at least, a much superior game. Anyway, thank you guys for watching Trapped Dead. My recommendation is probably stay away from this one. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.